Welcome. Here we go again for another podcast from cheapwinefinder.com. This is Champion Dave, and we're going cheap today. We're doing a $5.99 wine, which means we're probably doing Trader Joe's, and yeah, we are. It's the Trader Joe's Growers Reserve Organic California Chardonnay 2022, and that pretty much says it all. I mean, $6 and it's organic. It's 12.5 in the alcohol, which is a light. I mean, 13, 14 is common nowadays. 12.5 is the way it used to be, maybe in Burgundy, a little less ripe. I don't know what that means, but it tastes fine. It's a very fruit-forward wine. We'll take a sip, we'll talk about it, and we'll talk about Trader Joe's wines and what are all the reserve wines doing and what do they mean, and I don't know, and we'll drink it and we'll talk. This is a one that's fine. It is light to medium body, but it's got full flavor, and the flavors that are there are really good. It's not complex, but the flavors are good. The acidity is muted, but it makes you sets up your palate for the next sip. I mean, it does everything it needs to do, and it's $6. I mean, it'd be really great for a hot day. We haven't had a hot day for a while. I think we're getting some warmer weather this week, but this is kind of a summer wine when it's 90 out there and the humidity is ridiculous. This would hit the spot coming out of the refrigerator with a nice chill on it. And you don't know much about it. And Trader Joe's, we'll talk about that a little bit, used to have, before COVID, a bunch of brands, their own brands. I mean, they'd have brand names, unique brand names. You didn't know who made them half the time, but they would be there. And all of a sudden, most of like half the wines at Trader Joe's are retail brands you can find elsewhere. Their own brands are kind of like way down, and there's a lot of these reserve wines. So I know that the Platinum Reserve and the Diamond Reserve means hurry up and buy it. They're probably $15 to $20 wines, but that should be much, much more expensive. And every one I've had so far has been worth the money. But what are all these, there's Grand Reserves. What does Grand Reserve mean? And Reserve and Petite Reserve. And I don't even know if they're, are they just phasing out the other wine brands and putting their name on everything? Which would make sense, that way they have control. If they get a wine brand from a producer and it gets to be famous, that producer can jack the price up. But if you got Trader Joe's somewhat reserve, well, then Trader Joe's is in the driver's seat for that. They can change whoever makes it and get the best deal all the time. And I don't know if that's what's happening or just things haven't really settled from COVID. I don't know. But we have these reserve wines, and they are generally pretty good. And for $6, this is the perfect Netflix, HBO Max, The Last of Us wine. I mean, I think there's more of them. I haven't watched Netflix in a while. But it's like, it's 12.5. You can have a couple glasses and wake up in the next morning without really knowing you had a couple glasses the night before. And it goes down easy. It's smooth. There's a little bit of creamy vanilla to it. I'm going to take another sip. Yeah, it's got a little bit of an apricot on the mid palate. Kind of gets a little tart there, and it has some creamy vanilla. It has some apple and some lemon and some pear, maybe coconut milk going on. It tastes great. In other words, it's just and it's not a sweet wine. It's a dry wine. That's $6. I mean, you can't really complain. These are kind of these wines that you can't really give a critique on because they do way better than any $5.99 wine should do. I mean, that vanilla flavor is an oak flavor. I don't know if it had barrels or how they got it in there, but they got it in there. And I don't know. I mean, and Trader Joe's seems to have pricing that allows them to make wines or offer wines that other retail shops just can't touch. And that's nice, easy to drink. I have no complaints about this one. This is a good Chardonnay. I mean, it's light-bodied. If you know that going in, and you don't want you don't want a lot of oak, you don't want a lot of complexity. You just want something that tastes great and doesn't cost any much money, and there you go. I mean, that's what it says, and that's what it does, and well, it's fine with me. I mean, a wine that does what it's supposed to do is a good wine, right? So that's all I got today. Trader Joe's is having a lot of reserve wines and very few regular wines for some reason. I don't know if that's here to stay or whatever, but as long as they're this good, that's okay. I think they had another Grow Reserve organic red blend too from California. I'll probably hit that one of these days. But so they're putting more of these Grow Reserve and less of their own brands. So that's it for me, Champion Dave from CheapWineFinder.com, and we'll have another wine coming up pretty soon. We'll be talking about wine. Spring is coming. There should be more wines coming on the way. Things have been slow. I know for some reason bottles from China were holding wines back, and I think that's pretty much on the way out. So adios, keep it cheap. Check out the website. We're still working on it, but there's a ton of stuff on there. We got podcasts, we got wine reviews, and soon to have YouTube stuff. So keep it cheap. Adios and stay safe. I'll be talking to everybody. Bye-bye.